My assistant used to do this for me, but I'm going to see if Claude Cowork is able to do it instead. So what I did was I went into Claude on my desktop. I went from chat over to Cowork, and I asked it, if you're hooked into my Notion, are you able to grab a template and create a new version of it for the week and do this every Sunday afternoon for the week ahead? So then what it came up with here was it asks, which Notion template do you want to duplicate each week? So my options are I can let Claude find it, or I can specify the name. So I'm going to say I will specify the name. The next question it asks for clarification is, where should the new weekly page be created? And I'm going to choose the same location as the template. You'll see in my Notion, I've got them all there. And then what time on Sunday should this run? I'm going to say 3 p.m. so that Sunday night I can sit down and edit whatever I need to in there. What is the name of the Notion page? So let's pull up my Notion and grab the name of it. So these are all of my weekly plans here. And then this is where we can grab a copy. So this is the weekly plan template here. And this is the name that we want to copy. Do that. Let's go here. Copy, and we're going to drop that into Claude so that it knows where it is. That's the name of the template. So it will search in my Notion and find that, and then set up the steps so that it grabs that, makes a new one, and does that every Sunday at 3. And I'll have to specify to put in the dates, because I like to put in the dates. Okay, so it already knows. It sees the pattern that I had set before. Duplicating this for week March 23rd to 27th. So for this week, it will have all my dates of the week. It'll have everything separated out into the projects that I keep kind of in a master list, and then those pull up into the weeks depending on what work I have with each client. And, so Claude wants to use Notion duplicate page from Notion. I'm going to say always allow because I trust it in my Notion. It's using the connector Notion. So I'll show you connectors as well, because you can connect a whole bunch of different softwares and applications. So it's renaming it and setting up the schedule. Wants to use the Notion update. That's fine. And you can set the permissions so that Claude automatically has permission to do this. I've set them a little more constrained just while I get the hang of the program and how it operates. I want to know what it's doing and just check in a bunch before I open it up to other applications. I'll show you the connectors quick here. So we go to settings, and then in here you've got connectors. And you can choose any of these and literally just connect it to your Claude so that it has access to it. So my Google Drive, I can have it do all kinds of activities in there, search for folders, reorganize folders. My Google Calendar, I still have to configure, but I essentially, if I get a text, I can send saying, can you meet on the 24th at 3? I will just throw that into Claude and it will put a meeting in my calendar, which is fantastic. Okay, so schedule it every Sunday at 3, and I'm going to say yes, go ahead and schedule it. And we'll see how well this did. All done. Here's what happened. So this week, page is live in Notion, duplicated from your template. Going forward, a scheduled task will run Sundays at 3. It will duplicate the template and name it for the upcoming Monday to Friday, which is exactly what I wanted to do, what I've been doing. Range automatically. First run is in 6 days. Makes sense because it's Monday. One thing worth noting, click Run Now on the task in the scheduled sidebar to pre-approve the Notion tool permissions. Okay, that way future runs won't be paused to ask for approval. So that's the piece that we were talking about. It pauses and asks for approval at each step. And this saying Run Now will just allow it to run without having to stop, which is exactly what I want. So scheduled is right here, and it will show everything I've scheduled out in Claude Cowork. So I've got a couple of like weekly planning reviews and things. And then this is the weekly plan Notion. I'll click into it. And we're going to click the run now so that everything is pre-approved and it won't have any issue on Sunday. There you go. It started. It won't have any issue on Sunday when it goes to run and give me my new Notion template. So that I'll show you the Notion template. So this was the weekly template, and let's see what it created. So it created, what are we, March 23rd? Where did it put it? Down here. Okay, and I ran it, so it did it twice. So then it's created my March 23rd to 27th. These are all in my, these are all in my template, so those all came in. And then I've got my parking lot down here that populates for each week. So that looks fantastic. I'm pretty impressed that Claude Cowork can do that. And that just saved me, I don't know, an hour of time getting that set up. So pretty impressed.